Well, I'm on the phone with Coach Mark Shields. And, Coach, it's Thursday. We've just come back from a power outage. I'm sitting here in the 92.9, the ticket studio. I'm feeling like big time. And, hey, you know, it's going to be a big-time game tomorrow night because it's on TV as well.
Yeah, I guess Channel 5's coming down. I mean, we don't worry so much about them because, you know, we got WDEA with Chris Popper and the boys.
Oh, Lord.
You know, I mean, Wayne Harvey's got nothing on you guys. We know that.
All I know is just make sure my end of the booth is clean, it's dry, and, you know, they can sit out in the rain. It'll be marvelous.
Bunky hasn't told you yet?
No, Bunky, I did talk to Bunky. He said the game is on, provided it's not lightning and anything like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I had heard that he was putting you up top in the rain.
Oh, I melt. It's like spun sugar, you know? So sweet. All right, how has the week gone?
The week has been hot.
Yeah, no kidding.
Really, really hot. Yeah, I mean, as far as practice, we've done pretty well. But Tuesday night, I mean, I had some guys, they were about ready to keel over. It was so hot.
Yeah. Well, it was 91. I went up to Orono, and it was 91 as the Ellsworth girls soccer team was playing. Well, that was Monday. 91 in the afternoon as they were playing soccer.
Yeah, it's been warm. I mean, Wednesday night practice was not as bad. We had a little breeze up there, and we did a lot better. But Tuesday night, yeah, I had guys that, I mean, they were gassed. They were hot. I mean, you run around in 80-some-odd degree weather, which we're not accustomed to, especially in September, and, you know, trying to run through your special teams. We run through our special teams the first part of practice, so some of those guys are running, you know, these 50-yard wind sprints a few times on the kickoff team, and then you do the punt team and all that, so punt, kickoff return, punt return. So, yeah, I mean, the guys, they were hot, but they felt a lot better last night, and then we're hoping we're good and crisp tonight. I mean, it's sticky today, but it's not too bad. I think we can get through it, and they have a spaghetti dinner tonight after practice, so I think that will sort of motivate them.
Lift their spirits a little bit.
Yeah, to do well in practice.
You've got, I mean, I'm watching the weather forecast, and we're taping this Thursday morning. They're expecting about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches worth of rain, but when I just looked at the forecast, I'm hoping that it's going to be done by Friday night, by the time kickoff comes around. The field, I know, is dry. The field can absorb a lot of water. Is it going to be able to absorb that much?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's really dusty out there and dry, so I guess that does help with a lot of rain coming. But, yeah, I mean, if you can believe Todd Simcox, I was talking to Wayne Harvey yesterday, getting ready for the game, and, you know, Todd keeps changing the forecast on us. Well, sure enough, I get up this morning, and he's saying that it looks like you're right. It's going to come in early tomorrow morning and pour throughout the day and then start to taper off in the afternoon. So I'm thinking the field is going to be pretty squishy overall, but I think it will most likely be playable for sure.
That's going to impact your game plan a little bit, more ground and pound as opposed to airing it out, or what are the plans?
Yeah, I guess that's the million-dollar question right now, because I'm going to need to see what the conditions are when we get out there. And, you know, obviously when the ball is really saturated like that and wet and slippery, I mean, you have to be cautious with it. But, you know, the reality is with throwing the ball, I mean, if you can get a good snap and your quarterback can get a good grip on the ball, the thing about a saturated field is your receivers know where they're going with their routes, and the defender does not. So the line on that has always been, you know, don't necessarily be afraid to throw the ball in the rain, because of that reason alone, that those defensive backs, they have to try to figure out where you're going. We know where we're going, and, you know, they have to adjust accordingly to that. So, you know, I don't know what will happen tomorrow night as far as, you know, how I'll be playing, you know, how I'll be calling the plays. But I think it's going to be, honestly, one of those things where I sort of feel it out in the first quarter. I think both offensive coordinators will be doing that and kind of get a feel for what the field is like and, you know, how well the offense is running. And, I guess obviously if you're running the ball and you have success, and I guess you continue to run. But I mean, I'm thinking against the Belfast, they're such a strong defense that I don't know if we can ground and pound all night and try to win a football game against those guys. So because they're so good defensively.
When it's sloppy conditions, often it comes down to special teams, and you said you've worked on special teams throughout the week.
Yep, absolutely. And I talk to the kids every night, at the end of practice, talking about protecting the football because it's going to be pretty wet out there. And I honestly do believe that turnovers will play a huge part in this game. I mean, if the field's in really bad condition, then many times it's a low-scoring affair, but turnovers are going to be key. And you're right, on special teams, it seems like there's a greater risk for that to occur, to put the ball on the ground, because there's so much that has to happen. You think about snapping the ball back to your punter, and I mean, there's a lot that has to happen there, and then the guy returning it, if he fair catches it or he tries to return it, the ball's going to be slick. So you're right, there's a lot that goes into the thought process on how you want to deal with a wet field, and once again, we'll make some of those decisions come game time.
What about injuries as you've gone through the week? How are we doing there?
Yeah, actually we're a pretty healthy football team. Whenever I say that, I always knock on wood in the office here. I have a couple of younger guys that are kind of dinged up, but overall we're feeling pretty good, and I actually felt really good yesterday. My backup quarterback, Abram Malloy, he got dinged up last week in a phys ed class. It was, of course, my class.
Playing pickleball, or what was the story?
Frisbee. I know, Frisbee. Come on.
Did you forget to catch the ball, or the Frisbee, or what?
I don't know. He jumped up and came down wrong, and I thought he just kind of strained a muscle, and next thing you know, they're talking that, he might be done for the year.
Oh, dear.
I'm like, what? But, no, he was back last night, and he's got a brace on his the foot that he hurt, and I don't know if I don't think he'll be suiting up tomorrow night, but getting him back for future games is huge for us.
All right. Belfast, they've always played tough against MDI.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest reason is they're always well coached. Chris Bartlett does a great job down there, and then he has a real good, strong staff under him. I mentioned on Monday a guy named Butch Richards, and Butch Richards was the head coach down there for years with another guy, Butch Authors, and they had won these state championships and all these Eastern Maine championships, and they were just a beast to try to deal with. And Butch Richards came back last year, and he's running the offense, and he's running the same offense that he ran back in the day when they were winning those championships. So, offensively, they are just so deceptive and so tough to stop and so well coached that, defensively it's going to be a big night for us. I mean, we really have to play disciplined defense. We talked to the kids about doing your job, the old Belichick thing, but it's true. Do your job. You can't be a hero and try to do somebody else's job, or this deceptive offense will kill us, because they have some athletes in the backfield. Their quarterback's as good as I've seen. He's fast, and he can run and throw the ball well, and then they have a decent fullback and a real strong tailback behind him, number 3, who ran against us last year and we had trouble with. So, and they're big up front. They got some big horses up front. So they're just a handful to try to stop. And then, as far as them defensively, once again, a lot of the same kids. They're just big up front. They have some real big linebackers. Their middle linebacker, number 61, I remember him from last year. He's just a huge guy, and they like to bring the house. They like to blitz those linebackers a lot, which is smart, and it would be smart tomorrow night. And, if the field is wet and you're trying to run the ball and they're bringing, 10 guys to play, it's hard to move the ball that way. So, yeah, I mean, offensively, we got to get it rolling, and, I'm hoping we can have some success early and maybe open up the playbook as the game goes along.
All right, what do you want to say to all the fans listening around the world?
Yeah, once again, thank you for your continued support. We're going to be home Friday night against Belfast, and then we're home again the following week against Winslow. And, as many people as we can get to come out to the game is wonderful. I know the kids feel that. They see the people in the crowd, and, gets them excited. So, once again, thank you, and let's keep rolling here.
All right, Coach, best of luck, and I will see you on Friday night.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you.